All right, welcome back to the best NFT show in the gosh dang world. Best NFT show this side of the metaverse. Best NFT show just ever. We're rocking it. We're rocking it here today in the non-fungible token space. We got a great guest that we're going to bring in here in a moment, and I'm sitting with my main man. Of course, Tuesdays means Ronan the Collector. Ronan, what's going on, my man?
Not much, dude. Just like enjoying, a not so beautiful day here in Georgia. But outside of that, man, just kind of following along with like everybody else, right? Like trying to watch like what the heck is going on in this space. Obviously feels a little bit like a bear market, right? So just trying to navigate that as we kind of get into this week and get going. How about yourself? How's the week going for you?
I'm doing good. Tai Lopez tried to ruin my week, but I'm not going to allow him to do so. So we're actually doing pretty well. I'm enjoying the bear market as well, man. I think we were getting a little bit crazy there for a little while. It got a little bit frothy. The bear markets suck because you're not making a bunch of money, of course, like hand over fist, but you also get to like separate the wheat from the chaff a little bit, and you're able to just see who's real, who's going to be here in a month, who's going to be here in 2 months. So that is the question we have for today. I guess we have double Ronans. We got the Ronan with the BAYC hat there on the thumbnail. We have Mr. Bear as well. And we're going to touch on some weekly news stuff. Who's our guest in today, Ronan?
So we've got the team from Paperhands. Paperhands is basically, they call it a paint to earn project, and really interesting mechanics. They've got a little bit of tokenomics in there that sound kind of cool, that give you the ability to kind of play this Pictionary-esque game and the goal is to eventually have it be a mobile game. You play a little Pictionary. The artist draws. The faster that the people guess what the artist is drawing, they get tokens based on like how quickly they guess it, and the artist gets tokens as well. And then whoever guesses it correctly then becomes the artist and then gets the opportunity to raise tokens themselves, and then so on and so forth. And then obviously you use those tokens for some type of economical use within like their ecosystem, and they have some hints at evolution and things like that on their website. So it looks like a very interesting project.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the founders in here shortly. We're gonna have NFT Dior as well as Monarch here to talk about a little bit about the project. I did want to get to some LADZ City updates, of course. Like, we're going to talk NFTs. We're going to talk whether it's a bear market or not. But we did have a pretty cool little graphic that we wanted to show you guys here on the channel. This is basically what we've got going down this week. As you can say, Monday through Sunday, we've got content across the NFT network. We're on NFT Live right now, 3 p.m. Eastern. A little bit after 3 p.m. Eastern, we see you, XPlow. But we have content the rest of the week. Easy is making his return to the channel as well. He's been out for like a month. He had some like COVID issues. He had some sickness, but he is back here in the city. So definitely excited for the rest of the week of content. I did want to play one piece here from Music Mondays last night. Honestly, Music Mondays, Ronan, is one of the most underrated NFT content shows, anything, just content in general, not even just NFTs. Most underrated show like on planet Earth to me at this point. Like, they're bringing on fantastic guests. They talk NFT music. So they've got Jared, they've got Natalie, they've got, of course, Louis C. Rhymes leading it up. And they're talking NFT music, and they're super knowledgeable on that, as well as bringing on guests for live performances. I'm going to hit Aurora Mendez's performance last night because this is happening every week. Like, they're bringing on fantastic guests. Like, they had Kane Mayfield on. They had Black Dave on. They had a lot. I think Jacob Lee was on at one point. So all of these awesome guests, and they do these live performances. Let's check out Aurora's real quick. So that was just a little bit of her performance, but honestly, like a whole conversation with her on how she got into the music game, how she like came through classical music and her grind there, and then finding Web3. So I just love Music Mondays, man. I couldn't talk about them enough.
Dude, I agree. And then that, like, checking that out is really cool. Makes me reminiscent. I played a little violin when I was younger, man. And that's like, I love like just like classical music is my shit. So super cool to see that and to check that out and see what they're doing on Music Mondays. I love Music Mondays. I agree. It's some great content. The fact that they're bringing in these artists and musicians who are really trying to like innovate, right? Like, and try to change the game when it comes to how artists can get compensated and make a living, right? Like off of their music. So shout out to those guys. We really appreciate them. And if you really want to help out, both them and the network, you can go ahead and hit the like button on the video you guys are watching. If you're enjoying the content, you can also subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss a Music Mondays or Easy Street on Thursdays or any of the other content that we've got going out throughout the week. And then lastly, taking that share button, clicking it, and then dropping a link to any of your communities that you guys like enjoy being a part of. Let people know that we're having a conversation here. We're about to crack into an interview with the Paperhands team. And then cover some news.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to the chat really quick. You touched on community. It looks like we have Fun Uncle here in the house. So Fun Uncle, one of the shows that you saw there on the network schedule, he's in the house making his rounds in the city. XPlow is making sure that we start on time or at least close to it. We've got Enrich Studios. We got Hash Rhymes. We got Coca Jenkins, Flubber. Theo Voice is asking, what is OVOT? That is our vibe, our tribe. That is the mantra of the network. So want to give you guys a quick shout out for showing up here today, even though it is a bear market, or maybe it's not, maybe it is. We'll talk on that later. But we do have to get to Paperhands. They have a dope trailer that we're going to play from their recent travels to ETH Denver. And then we're going to talk with the team. We're going to talk with Monarch as well as NFT Dior here after this clip. So all right, we have the team from Paperhands in here. Guys, that looked like a dope party. Are you guys want to like divulge any information on what went down there in East Denver?
I don't know. I don't know, Ronan. What went down? Do you know anyone who went there?
Yeah, it was a good time, man. I had a really good time. Like, we went and my wife got her face painted, man. We hit the walls with paint. There was painting going on all over the place, which is like probably my favorite part. Like, just to get to pull up behind like random artists, right? Like, who were just like tagging the walls and doing all, like, it was cool. The music was great. They had an auction where they were able to raise over, I think, 3 ETH for some of the guys. Yep, that's a clip there. Who did a live painting actually. So yeah, it was a great event. You guys put together a good time.
Yeah, thanks. And we actually, how much time we have? We took like 24 hours before we were like, we're actually like, let's do this party. And then as soon as we announced, it was like, I don't know, 5 hours, and it was sold out. And we had to like pull the invite link.
Yeah, like 24 hours. It's crazy.
But yeah, it was good, and it's definitely something that we feel like we feel very comfortable in being able to create these sort of events, and that was kind of like a little pre-launch teaser that we did there in Denver. But yeah, just bringing out that inner child again. I think NFTs have gotten a little too like, what can I flip within 17 minutes? Instead of like understanding like the whole thing that started all of this, right? Before like any NFT went for more than $1,000, people were just like, hey, this is kind of strange and cool and fun, and sure, I'll buy a JPEG for a few $100, right? Which back then was crazy if you did that. But I think it was more about the art, about the fun, about allowing yourself to also then start becoming part of a community. And as we know, there's also a lot of value in having a community that can come to these live events. And I'm not sure about you guys, but it's definitely one part that I look forward to when there's like, NFT LA, Miami, NFT NYC, etc. happening in the next months. It's not just the speakers, I can't really, it's maybe also a little bit like the parties that's going to happen, all the people that you can actually meet on these satellite events. Sometimes I find more value and more, in these events than the main event itself. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like I actually had this conversation literally just a couple hours ago with a partner of ours, and we had the conversation about how the community and the networking, right, that can take place within that community is really like an under like discussed value add to these NFT projects, right? Like you get into a project that has some other people in it that are doing things, building, whatever, and it opens up these opportunities to really like network well. So yeah, I definitely think that's a huge part of what we do in this space, and hopefully like we can get kind of resituated back on that versus like all the money and things. But I do
Well, I
appreciate
think
you
that's
guys
what's
kind of
going to
playing a
happen
little.
though.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I think that is what is going to happen. I think there was just like some people, including Gary, said that there's just for like 6-12 months it's just going to be crazy. There's going to be all kinds of derivatives. Everyone's trying to like throw some money and makes some people are going to there will be some bad actors because there's just so much activity. But then that's just kind of going to be, I think, like weeded out over the next months, and then only what's really valuable and has some sort of long-term place in the space will remain.
Yep, I definitely agree. So tell us a little bit about Paperhands. Tell us a little bit about kind of where you guys might have come up with this idea of paint to earn and what that's like and what that experience should be like for people who are kind of like looking at your mint and considering whether or not they want to hop in.
Yeah, so we're basically going to be an NFT game that has aspects of, let's say, like a PFP collection because you need a character to play the game, right? But the focus is definitely the paint to earn game and being able to have a moment when when after you've worked or after you've been degenning and you're just like, what, right now I just don't want to think, I just want to relax for a little bit. All right, let me open this game and let me just doodle a little bit and actually earn some tokens that I can use for useful things while I'm relaxing. We definitely are going for a game that doesn't take almost any bandwidth to play, but it's just fun and is all around the whole paint to earn sort of topic, right? We'll have other, I mean, you already talked about it in the intro about the mobile game, but we'll have some smaller like mini games that are going to be browser based so that we have the community, so that we can keep delivering things to the community while they're waiting for the main game.
So I'm interested in this timeline of your release here because we are, the topic of today's conversation is, are we in an NFT bear market? Do you guys feel like launching now gives you an advantage, a disadvantage? Like, take me through your process as a founder in looking at timelines and different cycles as they kind of rise and fall.
Yes, it's a very good question. I was just talking to one of my punk friends, like literally before this call, before this podcast here. We were just talking about the exact same thing. And what I think the case is that there is no room for fluff right now. So I don't see anything that is just trying to, like, maybe in end of January was a little different compared to now for sure. So if something just is fluff but doesn't have any like actual long-term place in the space, I don't think it's gonna be able to make it right now. But if you look at some of the like top 500, like Fortune 500 companies, there's a very interesting statistic once where you basically, same as in over the year when you have seasons, you have spring, you have summer, you have fall, and then you have winter. So you basically have 4 seasons. There's also like economical seasons, right? Right now, we're somewhere between fall and winter is what we're experiencing like globally. Also, just pointing out, this is slightly, I think it's a little stretched out, but otherwise, the art is, part of it. As you can see here, we have both women and men, which, by the way, today, International Women's Day, let's make sure that we shout them out. We also have a few women involved in our project that are really killing it. But coming back to the whole like winter, etc., economical winter, There's also economical spring, economical summer, economical fall, as there is the seasons of the year. And an interesting statistic is that during winter, economical winter, 42 of the Fortune 500, 42% of the Fortune 500 companies were founded. So usually companies that make it long term are founded when things are hard, because if they can get it done and keep going and build something when things are hard, then of course they're going to be able to do when things are a little easier, because anyone can make it happen when the whole industry and everything's just going nuts, right? If the market itself is going up, if the industry itself is just growing, you could just throw a bone into the game and it will rise with the tide. But when things are a little tougher, I think then you can see which projects really have a place long term. So personally, I'm not really looking at it as a downside. I think it gets rid of a lot of noise.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that like to watch how the different projects react, right? Like in this climate is really interesting to just kind of see everyone, you know, kind of put their feet down and say, look, we're building and we're here and we hope to be here for the long haul, right? So kudos to you guys and kind of like just taking that on as like, hey, this is like what we're gonna do, and we feel like confident enough in the product that we're putting out that it'll shine regardless. So take us a little bit further, like, you know, okay, so now we understand that the long term there is that game there. You also have the idea of you know, these kind of mini games that kind of get us there. Your roadmap includes some other stuff in it that I'd love for you to hit on, mainly kind of talking a little bit about how you have the paper store. You'll be using the paper tokens for things like brushes, canvases, in-game avatars. Walk us a little bit about what this economy looks like post, you know, PFP drop.
Yeah, so the paper store is going to be mainly focused on like in-game purchases, so that people can basically improve and add things to their in-game avatars. At a later point, this isn't on the roadmap just yet, when the Paperverse will be coming out, a 2D, 3D kind of, I can't actually say, I don't think I should say the name of for whom we got the idea from, but it's a very famous game that everyone knows that has paper in it, and it's not about a plumber. And so I see you guys are like, dun, 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 dun. There you go. I think you can guess what inspired that. But there, I think that's also where really a lot of the tokenomics then will be shining as soon as that is going to be out later on. But initially, it's going to be focused on the in-game transactions or in-game purchases within the game. We don't really want to release a bunch of that just yet, because it is still a couple months out before that is all going to be there. But yeah, I mean, do you have any specific, questions around the paper store? I mean, we'll have also, ways where people are able to purchase things that other projects are going to be offering us. We're already getting so many offers for so many things, but we're having to be very focused on what we're doing, and that as long as everything's developing the way that it's supposed to, those things will just increase from what we've seen, because we are very connected with a bunch of high level founders, and we know what their day-to-day looks like and what kind of offers they're constantly getting. So we'll be making those things available in there, but the main focus is the game. I think sometimes a lot of I would say projects are spreading themselves too thin, trying to be experts in 7 different things, which unfortunately actually was the thing that was selling them out. They're like, well, we do all these different things. And it's like, if you actually pitch this to like angel investors or VCs, the one thing that they say is focus on one thing, guys. And then if something happens on the side, or something super easy that is great and valuable, but it shouldn't take much focus, okay. But like, don't try to be, a plumber, a food delivery service, and a tailor of,
Right.
whatever clothes. Like, you got to focus on one thing. And I think That's going to come through later on. Also, when this game and meta will hit the market even more, because that's where I feel this is going next.
That's excellent. So for some questions that we had in chat, we had a couple like people comment. One of the ones was asked by Crypto Shaman. He asked, "Do you guys have any tokenomics involved, such as like staking?"
Oh yeah, see, like, because we're basically, this is so everyday for us that like obvious things aren't as obvious unless you're in the project, obviously. Yeah, so we'll have a passive staking and we'll have a locked staking. So people will basically be able to either like passively stake, which makes the NFT very easily movable if they want to. And if they are ready to prove that they're not paper hands, but that they're actually diamond hands, they'll be able to lock their NFT for a certain period, which also, quick alpha here, because we haven't shared this publicly yet, if people do that within the first 48 hours within mint, or actually during mint, it's going to be an option that they can do that during mint, and they lock 3 of these NFTs away, they will receive the Diamond Hands Pass, which is talked about a little lower on the roadmap. That is going to be basically, those are going to be the VIPs of our community. And yeah, that's something that I think is going to also bring some good value during the time before the actual game is going to be out. And if you look on the website and if you look in our Discord, we have some pretty, how would you call them, Dior, plugged people, some OGs that have been doing this since this is a thing, that are also part of that group.
Monarch, I got some lightning questions for you, some from me and some from the community here. So I know you said you're a question.
Lightning questions, does that mean like rapid
it means
questions?
rapid. It means don't go down any rabbit holes. Give me the base layer talk. We did have a question here on which chain it would be, so we'll start with that one.
ETH mainnet, and then the game is going to be played on Polygon, and we'll have a bridge, so those two chains will be able to interact with each other. Basically only upside, no downside, because in game you don't want to have any transaction costs, right?
Yeah, as it's related to the game, what does that look like from a player's perspective? I know you said like you have to guess what an artist is drawing and things like this. Do I go in and am I able to be just a guesser? Am I able to be an artist? I want to kind of go through what that looks like from the user's perspective, and then how do you stop gaming of the system, essentially, where you're having someone try to like farm your tokens by cheating within that system.
Great questions. So basically, I mean, if you scroll down on the website, we have sort of a drawn version of it. It's the last point of the roadmap. So there. So basically, someone's going to be drawing, doodling, and then there's a chat below it, and then everyone can basically guess in there, and until it's until it's a giraffe. You guys know that reference? We almost left that there. If you don't, then
I don't. I wish I did. I'm not cultured.
No, it's a SpongeBob thing. Anyway, it's a doodling thing where someone was clearly doing an elephant, and Patrick's like, it's a giraffe. Anyway, and so yeah, people are basically going to be typing on there, being able to guess what somebody's drawing. If someone guesses it right and they don't want to be an artist, they can just say no, right? Some people may not want to be an artist, but we're making it very easy. Like the whole point is to have fun, and the whole point is to like, hey, nobody can draw, and the funnest ones are going to be the ones where you're like, that's not a dog, or whatever. When you're actually not really good at drawing, I think that makes the game actually slightly more fun because there's more guessing going on. We already have versions of that also happening on Discord right now. I can send that to you on Twitter if you want me to, or I'm not sure if via the email is better. if you still want to pull it up, I can just send it to you, and then you see kind of like the version that we're currently playing on Discord, with Discord limitations, of course. Just like a 10-second sort of like screen grab, so you kind of see what it's like and how hype people can get around this whole guessing game. And then you were asking how does it look? Oh yeah, and then we are currently not thinking about making someone just be the artist all the time, because that allows them to then be earning the whole time, whereas other people can't. We are looking at possibilities where, when we will make this game available for the general public, because we believe that, because these types of games are already being played by millions of people around the world, right? So that's why we're also not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not like we're trying to do something that doesn't work. Like, it's already being played by millions of people and they're not earning anything, right? So that, people that are holders of the NFT, they will have privileges over obviously non-holders once we would make this available to everybody. So that's an idea that maybe people could then basically request to only be artists. And then the last question was how to make sure that people don't cheat in any way whatsoever. And the first thing obviously there is that the game will be able to detect if someone's trying to write something, or if someone's trying to not basically doodle, which is what they're supposed to do. And we'll have moderators also hired that if someone thinks that someone else is doing any cheating activity or whatever, that they will go in there and then just monitor quietly and see what's going on. And then if it does look like that, or if it's clear that that's what it is, then those people would be put on hold for a certain amount of time. But yeah, I mean, those are very important questions, but we're aware of all that and are working on it as well.
Excellent, man. That's very cool. I think, I think that as far as like PFP projects are concerned, like when you can add value, right? Like a game and then an entire like tokenomic system, I think it does really help to get some attention on the projects, especially when it's so crowded, as we all know. So I think, if there's anything else you guys want to kind of like, information wise, you want to drop maybe about like, when your drop is or what it'll cost or how you guys are running it, feel free to go ahead and let us know. Other than that, I think that we've got all the questions from chat, and yeah, we appreciate you coming through and kind of talking a bit about the project.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting very close to the launch. We're calling it the launch because it's the launch of everything. And so definitely people should be keeping an eye on the Discord announcements in the next 1 to 2 days. And it's definitely very, very soon. I don't want to like announce it fully here just yet, but I'm giving you that alpha that people should be very attentive over the next 1 to 2 days. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then the mint price is going to be something very affordable, not some 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 type of thing. It's not going to be that at all, because again, we have been in the space for a while, and we want to make sure that anyone who would like to be part of it, that they have the chance to throw their bid in, not their bid in there, but basically, as long as nobody else outbids them with gas fees, obviously. But the actual drop itself, the actual mint, needs to be affordable, because we also have a few people for whom this is going to be the very first drop, because it's something that I think a lot of people can identify with. It's not complicated.
Monarch, last question before you get out of here, man. Is there a whitelist that anybody should attempt to be on at this point, or are you just going to have an open public sale right away, or how does that work?
Yes, we do have a paper list, of course.
Well,
there you go. We not the yeah, exactly, not the whitelist. Yeah, we do have a paper list, and basically the easiest way for people right now is to be active in chat, and then depending on how active someone is, they receive access to different channels where we where we basically do raffles, and the more active you are, then the lesser people there are, so the higher chance you have to actually win one of these spots, and we do them twice a day. And then I kind of have a feeling that there might be a pretty big announcement also today, a little later, so definitely don't check out the Discord.
All right, Monarch. I appreciate you stopping by and you dropped like 3 different alpha pieces there. So I always love it when projects can come on and kind of release a little bit of like secret information. So I appreciate you and Dior popping on today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, man. And we'll be watching that Discord and that Twitter for the announcement.
Yeah, brother, appreciate you. We only have one mic over here, so Monarch crushed it. Also, check us out at NFT LA. We're going to be out there with an activation and probably do a pretty cool event. So if you guys will be out there, you're welcome to join.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk soon.
All right, guys. Have a
Thanks,
good day.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Ronan, tell me right now. So you're like in the middle of this? Is this what's happening? Like you're in the middle of that?
Oh no, I wasn't in the middle of that, man.
No?
I'm in the back, like hanging out, chilling, like, you know, chit chatting with some other. I think I was chit chatting with some apes at that point. But yeah, no, this was fun because it was like some random dude, and then like a dude who was wearing like a Bored Ape hoodie, and like so the dude was like, "I'm not gonna let the Bored Ape win." He kept just going up and higher and higher. So I think it ended up going for like 3, but like overall, like the party was a good time. Like they had like.
Yeah.
They had everything was like white, right? So like you walked in and you literally, there was paint cans and paint brushes and paint pens and markers and all these things everywhere, and you literally could just pick it up and go anywhere you wanted in the whole place and just start like marking up the wall. And there was some really cool like graffiti tags, and like I mean it was a good time, and they had great music going on. Like we hung out for a bit. It was late. It was like 2:00 in the morning, I think, when we left. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a good time. And I think that is a very important part of like what we're doing is like the community aspect is like, you can't be like downplayed, right? Like the fact that like, I think people talk all the time about Bored Apes and why are Bored Apes worth so much. I think it's because like they create this atmosphere that like one, like, you know, there's always like things that are going to take place, whether it's a, you know, a digital, you know, activation like games, or whether it's merchandise being sold, or in the event of, you know, these live conferences and things, you know, they're putting together these parties that are essentially like guaranteed places for you to go and meet people and network. And I've met some really cool people. I've met some partners that we're working with now at Gig Labs. And I've met some, you know, people who have become really good friends at these events. And so like that, the, you know, value that comes from being part of these communities, I think, is sometimes downplayed. And I think will become more and more prevalent as like the world opens up and we get to do more things and experience more stuff. Like you'll really care about like being in a group because X amount of people or whoever is there and they're attending the events and you have the opportunity to get that access, etc.
That's a really good conversation point, because I feel like the NFT space evolved in the time of COVID. So we didn't get the opportunity to really see these communities like flourish IRL, like flourish in the meat space. So it was really about finding your Web3 tribe, about finding your online tribe in a spot where we couldn't. But now that you have this like reopening of the world happening, you almost have that situation where you're going to get validated if you have live events as a brand, especially when everything gets super frothy, right? Especially when everybody's, you know, building these different projects and a new derivative comes out every, you know, week. The ones that have live events, that's going to be a brand that is going to be on good projects.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that there's going to be brands that take advantage of that idea and make their project entirely about that, right? Like just, you know, we talked to the Witchy GF crew and Nifty Castle, like they've got the Rob Boss DAO, which is like a DAO that they created that, you know, the idea there is that they'll be able to fund, you know, a place for Rob Boss DAO members to always have a place to go when they visit these NFT conferences and have people to like room with and dinner and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely a strong use case there.
Yeah. I want to mention one thing. I'm going to make myself go full zoom. This has nothing to do with what I'm actually about to mention. Do you guys see the dollhouse? We brought the dollhouse back.
I saw that.
For the crew. Shout out to Crypto Buffalo here. But the one piece I actually wanted to touch on was right here. Oh, that was a little cube. So you see that?
That was interesting. Oh, look, check that out. You found a new button.
There we go. Listen, I look for like little tidbits when I'm investing in different projects. If you're looking for a flip, that is one thing. And you know, if you're looking for a long-term hold, there's a couple other things. One thing you're looking for is the communities that are related or are adjacent or are involved in the project. Well, look what I have here. 3 different CyberKongs individuals. You know, I'm not familiar with the exact individuals here, but Metal, Dekong, and Vikong are all a part of this project. That tells you something. And, you know, it might be more short-term flip of metals, pump of metals, what have you. But when you see a community like CyberKongs that has a little bit of moolah, you know, a little bit of know-how, a little bit of a community networking, that gives you a little bit of extra stamp of approval that, you know, maybe the project has some legs, you know. So definitely looking forward to following Paperhands, though, for sure. Is whitelist the most punned thing in existence? I got witch list, I got whitelist, I got paperlist.
Well, I don't think it's pun. I think it's like getting away from like the use of like the term in general. You know, I think you're trying to come up with their own like words for it, just so we're not using whitelist anymore. Which, you know, I understand. So.
All right. Well, we're going to make our way into the weekly news. Guys, this is a part of the episode that we want you, you know, super involved in. Thank you for the questions to the Paperhands team. Those help kind of clarify information, you know, specific to a project. But this is going to be related to the stories of the week. And we had some good stories come through, but I do want to touch on one really quick because it's like breaking news. We had the Gutter Cat gang come out and say that they're actually working with, it looks like CloneX. So I'm over here, you know, prepping for this episode. If things look different, it's because I got a whole new brand new computer, and that's what I've been doing for a little bit. So I did not get a chance to look at what was happening. I saw the tweet come through that says clones are coming, public sale and snapshot within 24 hours. And I assumed that I'd get some updates, but me and Ronan are just hanging out pre-episode, and they dropped another update saying, let's make sure I have the right tweet here. Public sale opens today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Mint site and details will drop first in the Gutter Cat Gang Discord. See you there. Now, I went into the Gutter Cat Gang Discord. You know, hold your horses. You know, don't stop your heart just yet, because this, I think, got pushed to like 4 o'clock, maybe 4:20. So if you want to get in public sale for this, whatever this is, and it seems to be a CloneX and Gutter Cat Gang kind of baby,
there was a public sale and a snapshot. So what?
So
what's the snapshot get you?
So the snapshot is for the holders of Gutter Cat Gang. And what I've been able to piece together, because again, you don't see a lot of information on Gutter Cat Gang, which is like kind of what they like to do. They're very like cloak and dagger and like secret announcements. So there's not really any official announcement, it feels like, on this besides what they're putting out. I'm thinking snapshot for the holders, and I think it's across all species. And then the public sales for anyone that doesn't get airdropped via the snapshot. That's what I think.
Got it. Yeah, that would make sense. I wonder what it's going to be. So now I got to be watching in 4:20. 4:20 is the official time per their Twitter. In too many Discords, bro.
Yeah, you're not freaking wrong.
What's the Gutter Cat Gang website?
I'm gonna go to their Discord real quick. I'm checking it out.
These gutter dogs are so sick.
These
are my favorite.
Yeah, and I think it's across all species. I got some other DNA shots here.
Ooh, look at that.
This is a classic Discord sale. This reminds me of, dude, we're like on Wax right now. We're in Wax's Telegram.
Everybody's getting hyped. Now we're waiting on you know what this is like? This reminds me of when Gutter Cats fucking dropped the first time. Yes. You remember they were supposed to go live when we were getting ready, and then all of a sudden, I don't remember who it was. Somebody in chat, they're probably still here in chat. Somebody who's still hanging out with us today. Was like, Gutter Cat Gang just went live, and we're like, no, it doesn't go live for another 8 minutes, and they like pulled the switch early, and I missed out.
Oh, I do remember that.
Fucking FOMO'd hard.
Oh, they got a bunch of FUD right off the bat.
Yeah, because they launched like 8 minutes early, and it sold out before the time that the sale was even supposed to start. It's horrible. It was such a bad moment for me. Chat, what do y'all think about Cyberbrokers from This Is What Space Smells Like? Space?
Yeah, we'll come back.
I like my Cyberbrokers. I love my Cyberbrokers.
We'll come back. Hit Cyberbrokers. We'll come back to the Gutter Cats. The Gutter Cats will be there. What's going on with Cyberbrokers?
Yeah. Then we got to make sure that we go through that Lopez as well, because We got to check out this video he put out. But Cyberbrokers. So this one was is a project by Josie Bellini. Anybody who's been in the space for a while probably knows Josie for her iconic picture of Bitcoin gas mask girl, right? This is an image I think that she put out there like 3 years ago. So she's been in the space for a while. This is literally, I think, the first inklings and talking about Cyberbrokers was over a year ago. So, or almost a year ago. It's been in development for a while. It's fully on chain, which means all of the art lives on the blockchain. That means that you don't, there's no disconnect there. As long as Ethereum is there, your cyber brokers are going to be there. And what's cool is that they actually are saved not as JPEGs, but they're saved as SVG files, which allows them to be layered. So you have this really cool experience of, people were sharing like this one right here, right? She's got that mask on. You can pull that mask layer off of her face and you can actually see her entire face, which is really, really cool. And it's the same thing for like all their clothing parts, right? So people were talking about how this plays into the tokenomics, how it plays into like what comes next. You've got some really cool, super rare people there in the Cyberbrokers universe. What I love is there's also really cool lore. If you guys have a chance, make sure you check out their Medium page to get the download. There's 3 episodes of the lore. Essentially, the idea is that this is like Cyberbrokers are people who were the first 10,000 to try out this VR technology that we came up with. Unfortunately, something happened and broke the connection between their virtual selves and their physical selves, and there are 10,000 Cyberbrokers who are stuck in this world. And that's kind of like the basis of the lore. But being by Josie, being in development for so long, being by a developer who's well-known, Cyber Guys, who also is CTO for Blockade Games, which does the Neon. What is it? Neon. What's the name of that game?
Neon
I always
District.
forget. Neon District, yes. So he's the CTO for Neon District, super experienced. This one is a project that I think is going to do extremely well long term because of the fact that it's got such a strong team. It's got such strong art. It has some really cool lore. And you can tell that from the ground up, from the foundation, they have built this to be an experience where, much like the apes, you can own your images, right? Like these are like your brokers are your brokers. You see, like this came with a mask, right? So he had the mask trait, and now you can see like he goes in and he's got all the different pieces of his avatar that make it up. He can remove the mask. He can play with the different aspects of his profile picture and kind of create it and customize it to his liking. So shout out to Josie Bellini and that team there, man. I'm a huge fan of Cyberbrokers for sure. We had that one already kind of listed out. Easy and crypto. Shout out to Easy. I saw Easy in chat yesterday when we were holding our breaths trying to get in on that mint. So I was lucky, man. I grabbed 3 Cyberbrokers. I'm super stoked.
Yeah, 2.2 on the floor too. So I don't know exactly what that math checks out to. What was the mint price again?
Yeah, 0.35. So not a very cheap mint, not at all. 0.35. But 2.2 floor. Yeah, dude. I mean, I bought 3. I flipped 1. Like kind of that's my ethos. Like when I play in the space, I try to make sure that like I recoup like the money I spend within the first 24 to 48 hours of any project. So flip that first one. Now I got 2 that I can sit on that are pretty rare. And I think that, the project does well. I've got something to play around with and something also to keep me part of the ecosystem. I'm a storyteller too. So like this idea of the lore has got my wheels turning for what my Cyberbroker stories are. Right. So, to answer XP in chat, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing the Red Village, bro. Absolutely. I can't wait for that one to drop too.
Yeah, Red Village has been reaching out too. Apparently they have some tournaments they want people to be involved in. So I know like from a directing standpoint, they want people involved in some other things. So listen, we are about to wrap up today's episode. The question of whether it's an NFT bear market is like going to be one potentially we can talk about next week as well. Volumes are down. Like, first of all, volumes are completely down. The projects, I would say, are still, coming out on a daily basis. And it's, quality is hard to be found here, unlike maybe a year ago at this time. But do we, one, feel like we're in an NFT bear market? And then do we see it kind of coming out of any type of slumber here in the next couple months? Again, I would look across the board. Bored Apes are down, CryptoPunks are down. We looked at Oni Force right before the episode. Like, those are not charts, especially the Uniforce one. I saw your eyes there, that we want to be looking at long term. Do we see a bounce back relatively quickly? Because just to TLDR, my answer is, we've been in an extended bear market here for about a month now, a month or two now, when it comes to NFTs. So we'll see. There's going to, be projects just like Cyberbrokers that do well. There's enough of a supply limit there where, people are going to have cash and there's going to be demand for good projects. But across the space, I don't see the euphoria that we saw maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like, in general, we're probably in more of like a trader's bear market, right? Like, crypto's down, ETH is down, Bitcoin's down, stock market is down, everything's down, right? Like, the world stage and politics are affecting, I think, trading in general. So I do think that, like, as like that settles and things settle with that, and like crypto will settle, and then in turn NFTs will settle. I do think that anybody who has the ability, right, like, to kind of like look at some of these blue chips that are like really taking a deep like dip, right? Like, if you're looking at Doodles or an Ape or a Gutter Cat or any of these other like World of Women top-notch program or projects, might be a good time to kind of jump in, right? Like, we talk a lot about, you buy the dips. So, this might be a good entry point for some people to jump into those projects that they haven't been able to. Like Doodles, I'm like, shit, I hope none of my projects dip that much, but I hope Doodles goes to like half price because I want to get in.
All right, we are. If you did sell out of anything over this next cycle, and that's what I would tell you too, for those of you that are in your first cycle. And again, it might be too late now. Hopefully you had some tribe members that had been through a couple cycles telling you to take profits. But now, again, is the time to use the profits that you had in the last cycle. I know that's hard to say, now, right? Because, again, like, you're not going to sell your own force for 9 ETH anymore. So next, you have to learn from being in these cycles. You have to take some profits, even though it might hurt. And then the next thing I'd say is just buy 2 of everything next time, because a lot of times I'm getting too attached to the one thing that I own, thinking it might pop off. Well, if you own 2 and can afford 2, definitely try to get 2 of an asset, 2 of a sale, so that you can then take profits on 1 at least. So, Ronan, I gotta
good collecting, like, I was gonna say, good collecting like habit for me is always to pick up multiple, and then like the intent is always to like I said, recoup my investment within 24 to 48 hours, and then anything beyond that is like fair game, right? Like, I sold 1 Cyberbroker, paid for all 3. Now I've got 2 Cyberbrokers that I can sit on and do whatever with. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move into our last piece of news. Before that, we did just get an announcement from the Gutter Cat Gang Discord. If you own any Gutter Cats, you're likely going to get hit with an airdrop here, which is awesome. I said hit like it was a negative thing. This is a positive hit. We got Discord rugged us, drop push back to 420. That was just an announcement from their Discord. The general chat's like absolutely what you think it would be. So it's hard to kind of keep track of what's actually
because nobody has any clue what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like a CloneX Gutter Cat Gang drop, of course. Mint details happening soon, 20 minutes. So we got another update. So hard to track these in live time. We did have one last story to get to, guys. And that is this motherfucker's drop here that kind of shook the space a little bit. So if you want to be a part of Tai Lopez's inner crew, and you're not going to hear audio, but you can kind of understand what he's saying here in this.
I got audio
video.
For you.
This
is Tai Lopez. You're gonna make it full screen? Yeah, I got audio. I'll play the audio. You make it full screen. I'll play the audio. Hold on, you gotta restart the video though. Make it full screen. Okay. Restart. Yeah, and then I'll play the audio. Ready? What's going on, guys? I have got an NFT project for you. Just for 42 ETH, you can come in and fly on my private jet that I purchased with your 42 ETH, ride it one time with me in the plane, and then guess what? You get to go home, and I get to keep the plane. Second up, I've got the same deal going for a nightclub, also for a game to a NBA team, and we can watch that, and afterwards where I will purchase the team and make money off of your ETH, and then you can also play some basketball. And if you're lucky, maybe I'll allow you to use that ETH towards, playing on the court in front of the fans, maybe at halftime. But besides that, really, you're just going to pay me for my time. Thanks.
Tai Lopez,
and for me to make more money.
Coming through with the absolute dagger to the NFT market. If it was a bear market before, it is a bear market now. Honestly, that was like the last bit of juice from this past cycle that just got hit. And this is Tai Lopez still telling you that you can play horse with him if you spend 2 G's. And you have the potential to hang out with him at the NBA game. You have the potential to talk to him in Discord. I have to go through this utility, dude, because it's absolutely it's a meme in and of itself.
You said 2 G's. A game of horse with Tai Lopez is 18.4 ETH. Ride on a one-on-one private jet trip with Tai, 30.67 ETH. He can buy the plane. One-on-one VIP table experience with Tai Lopez, 15.33 ETH. For 45 grand, he can buy the room for the entire rest of the nightclub's life.
Silver edition though. Silver OG NFT hotel, restaurant, and club member. You don't want this, Ronan? You don't want to be able to chill at a hotel with a bunch of OGs. This is dude, OG.
All I see in my head right now is you sitting in the lobby next to Tai, sipping on like a Mai Tai, and Lindsay on the other side. And y'all are just kicking it like it's a fucking NFT Soho house.
I would love to see a cross section of the holder.
Can you pull up that Lindsay?
Holders,
do you still own that?
Whoa! Why are you bringing Lindsay into this? Don't bring Lindsay into this.
What's the floor of that NFT?
Oh my god, dude! It's sentimental. I listen. I didn't even say sentimental right. That's how shook I was from you bringing Lindsay Lohan up. That is gonna be with me forever.
Surprised.
That
was been a minute.
Yeah, I thought we were like full go on Tai, and then you switched the gun on me, dude. We were like full, like this is a Mexican standoff now. Damn it. Tai, help me out. Look, we got
just
gold
buy
editions.
A one-on-one basketball for Tai and send Lindsay instead.
Ask me whether I would have bought one if this was Lindsay and not Tai Lopez. I probably would have. You
would have bought one of those 42 ETH projects just so you could kick it with the club at Lindsay. Like you would have went so simp, dude.
I would have went full simp. Are each one of these individual videos? I mean, I guess
he recorded a video for every single thing. He's gonna tell you. He tells you about how much fun you're gonna have in the private jet, what champagne you're gonna drink.
What the holders of this NFT will get access to a special WhatsApp group with Tai himself. The holder of this NFT will join Tai and other holders once a year in a mastermind while traveling in a private jet. Dude, this is absolute. How much did he raise from this?
Once a year mastermind while we watch a 2.5 hour movie. Who the fuck is gonna get anything done when you're watching a movie?
Sketchy.
That sounds more like Tai is gonna put you in a chat with a still image or like a looping video of him eating popcorn while he goes and spends your ETH on some dumb shit.
Yeah. We got a couple other tweets here. This is from 0x Beans. He's saying hilarious. The Tai Lopez NFT immediately siphons out the funds into their team wallet when you mint, just so they can scam your ETH just a bit faster. What is he getting at there? He's getting at siphons out the funds into your team's wallet when you mint. Shouldn't a mint go into a team wallet? What is that?
Yeah, it should it should go into a team. Sometimes it's like it goes into the team wallet and then it goes into, or I think he's saying that it's split up into like the different team people's. I don't know. Anyway, we all know it's a rug. So that's the point of that one. Just stay away.
There were some things with Farouk on here as well. Like Farouk was involved. He had a picture of him and Farouk at a pool party, and then Farouk clapped back and said, "That's bullshit. Like that. Why are you bringing that up now? That was 10 years ago."
Well,
so there was this.
Because Farouk shot fired because he tried to sell it and it didn't happen. So Farouk was like, "Oh, look at this, it's not selling, haha." And then Tai responded like, "Oh, haha, like you wish you could hang out with me. You look up to me," basically by sharing that picture. And then Farouk was like, "Whatever, dude." And now Farouk is like, "You should buy Tai stuff." Take that.
I'm waiting for BitBoy to come out with his NFTs. Why haven't I seen a BitBoy NFT to compete with the Tai Lopez NFT?
Hold up.
Well, just because he's from
BitBoy
Atlanta
already wants his NFTs, bro. BitBoy already wants his NFTs, bro. Hey, he's opening up a studio right around the corner.
Yeah. Here we
Literally,
go.
I can't see.
404.
404. That's not even my phone number, but you know it. That's what's up.
Oh goodness.
Probably from Atlanta Rap, right?
Yeah. So here's what we're doing. We're closing up the episode.
Yeah.
Who are your top 3? I wouldn't even put Tai Lopez in this group though, right? Like I want to have the conversation like people that have got into the space who were, and again, this doesn't have
Felt the
anything to do with Tai
slimiest?
Lopez. No, yeah, let's have that. Like the top 3 slimiest entries have to be one. This might take the cake. The
This is a
Stoner
pretty
Cats-
slimy one.
The Stoner Cats one.
Stoner
was pretty slimy.
Cat. I called y'all on Stoner Cats, and I don't care what nobody says. I said don't touch Super Yetis too, and that's like the original. That's
Why
the
are you
OG.
coming at my bags
like,
today? What?
Where's
What?
the game, bro?
So first of all, Super Yetis are above floor. I'm just putting it out there. I mean,
oh my god,
it's a meme.
okay.
Would you
Yeah.
own a Kevin?
To answer XP,
Would you own a
Would I
Kevin?
Kevin? No, that's what's wrong with the space, dude. We got projects that are like making like a difference in the world. Like really, like we've got NFT projects that are here launching, paying collegiate athletes, right? Like that, like this disenfranchised like group of like minority that like couldn't make money off of their own names, and like you can't get nobody to pay attention. And then you got Kevin derivatives at 4 ETH floor, bro.
It's
There's something
collecting.
wrong. And
It's
that's why this is
collecting.
happening. This is karma coming back and biting us all in the ass.
It
So
doesn't-
like,
It doesn't have to. Collecting doesn't have to be
It's collecting.
altruistic all the
Is
time.
that
it is a collection. Hold on.
collecting.
Kevin's and Yetis.
For what happened with Kevin?
Dude, Kevin is a meme
They're
now.
memes.
There's a lot of things that are memes. That doesn't mean
this is a debate.
it is.
This is a sit down and like we should have a whole episode of debate.
I do
The
feel-
moderators.
Yeah. I don't feel like I need to be altruistic every time I'm spending money in the space. You know, sometimes
No,
I mean,
but at the same time, like you look, Kevin, the actual Kevin itself, the Kevin NFT from Pixelmon, for you guys to have pumped that shit to 6, 7, 8 ETH and then left some poor kids with the bags because Kevin's back down to like 1 or 2 ETH, right? Those poor kids thinking Kevin's gonna be this ultimate meme. No, what we did was we took advantage of a moment and to make more money.
kid,
And the people who did it, shame on themselves.
I hope you learned a valuable lesson. Don't buy Kevin's at 7. Okay, don't do
He
it
learned the
again.
Mechaverse,
He learned
okay?
a.
He learned the Mechaverse.
Dude, this guy has brought up like 18 of my bags on this show today, and I freaking love it. I think I have a checklist of my bags that you've gone. We got Lindsay, Yetis, Mechaverses. Yeah, dude, I like that idea. Like of having a bigger conversation there. But I understand what you're saying.
And Easy says he'll moderate, so that
Oh,
works.
okay.
And
Easy,
look,
we're holding you to that.
Yetis is just a joke. Easy, look, honestly, Super Yetis, that's a joke, man. But like when you look at like, and even like Pixelmon, like at least they're actually like legit making a game in Sandbox, right? Like they're actually making a game. Some of the assets suck, and we gotta step that shit up. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a great episode, dude.
Yep, 100%. It looks like Gutter Cat Gang just went live too, so it's a perfect time to end this episode. Tai Lopez, go fuck yourself. We're out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to let Ronan take that one.
9 minutes in Gutter Cat. I gotta mint me a Gutter Cat. Can I get in the gang now? Is that what's about to happen? Am I gonna be part of the gang?
I mean, which one are you buying though? Are you buying this one, or are you buying like?
I don't even know what I can buy.
You better get on it.
I just want to mint. It says the mint go. Dude, I'm on it. All right, guys. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate Paperhands for coming through. You guys know what it is. That's our vibe, our tribe.
Peace.